What's up, guys? It's your favorite white belt entrepreneur. That's right, Ethan Hitchcock. I'm back. Um, Busy stuff. A lot of stuff going on. Really still trying to tap into all these different industries, different portals of creating different streams of revenue. Got a lot of good stuff going on. We've got the nonprofit taking off. Bunch of good stuff there. Getting some t-shirt designs together. What I wanted to come and just kind of put out there real quick, something that's helped me figure out the definitive purpose, which I think is extremely heavy. For anything you do, you definitely need to have a for sure solid foundation of what you want to do, what you want to achieve. That doesn't mean it has to just be one thing, especially for me. It's multiple. Can't even count on two hands how many things I want to do. But I do know the ultimate purpose, and that's to be able to create revenue that in turn I am able to apply to helping people. A lot of you have heard from the first video. I am a person who works in the addiction recovery field. It is 1000% based off of fellowship, unity, and service. That being said, you gotta help people. You know what I mean? And I've definitely figured out through my peaks and valleys that helping people was always the source of making myself back on a level plane. It's always helped me. It's always helped other people. It's definitely something that I know I want to do for the rest of my life. So different avenues of generating income is not particularly relevant to that, except for the fact that it's going to put money in my pocket to where I can put that money back into the community, a widely overlooked community, might I add. There's not a lot of support. There's actually in Georgia, they are cutting like 50% of the recovery communities, all the RCOs and nonprofits that are here to help the recovery community. They are cutting 50% of their grants. Haven't actually passed it yet, but that is what they're trying to do. Absolutely ridiculous. Mental health and addiction is both two things that need to be assessed on a very high level. It's a huge purpose. So that's what I'm trying to do with my life. Whatever I can do to add towards that, that is what I want to do. That's my definitive purpose, right? So everything else comes in an entrepreneurial division, but it ultimately is going to lead back to one thing. And if I can create several different streams of income that are going to make me financially stable, through passive income, or even having to put, a little bit of time and effort, I definitely want to devote most of my time towards the charity, towards the nonprofit that I'm starting with my sister and two other people. Shouts out to everybody who's involved. It's the Rock Bottom Foundation. If you haven't heard, we're based in Atlanta. It's going to be super huge. We're super excited. We're going to bring a lot of things to the community, but that is what I want to hang my hat on. So that being said, brought a real quick, heavy-hitting motivator for anybody who wants to be in the entrepreneurial land like I do. And like I said earlier, I am a white belt entrepreneur, meaning I am still at the bottom, right? Managed to get myself in a couple good places, starting a couple things off. Still haven't seen a lot of traction, but that doesn't mean shit. Gonna keep on fucking doing it. You know why? Because persistence is key. Just like Napoleon Hill said, if you have not read Think and Grow Rich, holy shit, need to get into it. It's a life changer. You definitely have to be ready to apply the things that it asks you to do. Tells you to make a couple lists of a couple different things to find your purpose. It gets you to think a little bit harder of like, what am I actually trying to achieve long term? What amount of money? Doing what services am I going to provide? What am I going to be able to put back into the world? When you do that, it takes time, especially if you're at an early level like me. It took me a little bit of time to really dig deep and figure out what the source of everything that I wanted to do was, and what the purpose was, and what I wanted to be able to accomplish to get there and make that stuff manifest, right? So it's not the easiest thing. You don't just sit down and like, oh, I want $1 million because I want to save the whales. You might be able to just pop that off the top of your head, but wanting $1 million to save the whales isn't gonna get you $1 million. Unfortunately, it's not. You know what I mean? You got to put some traction and some action behind your wants. And that being said, it makes you draw out a definitive plan. You know what I mean? Huge. If you don't draw out, and what I mean by draw, I don't mean like, get your fucking color pencils and your stencils out. I mean, like, write down some step-by-step plans, some goals. You know what I mean? You ain't going to follow every single one of them. It doesn't have to fucking be secure, right? But putting those little pieces into place and having these whatever you want to call them, I guess, like accomplishments or short-term achievables, concrete achievables, whatever you want to call it, whatever really fires you up. They're very important. At least for me, might not be for you, but if you read this book, it's going to tell you that's what you need to do, and it's definitely helped me. One huge thing that I do want to read, and it's in the fucking book study, but on page 56, if you got the book, this is what fucking resonates with me. And as soon as I got to page 56 and read this, I said, holy shit, this book is for me, right? And I'm going to read it to you just because it's heavy. It says, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all of humanity. Because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. And that is one of 5 things that you're supposed to read daily, that this book suggests that you read daily. I recommend that because when I wake up in the morning and I read that passage, it reminds me exactly what I'm doing. And it reminds me that it's not for me. I thoroughly believe that anything you do for the greater good of mankind that's not necessarily the most selfish intentions is going to be successful, right? And so I'm doing things that, I'm putting my own money into because I want to, because I feel like they're possibly going to connect other people, and it might be something that helps other people. The nonprofit I'm right now currently funding 100% of everything out of my own pocket. Why? Because it's something I'm passionate about. I've managed to save money on the side to where I can develop the funds to invest into something that's going to, in turn, kind of create a little bit of positive return of investment, so that can go directly back into the foundation. We are not 501c3 status yet, so therefore everything that we do has to come out of our own pockets. People are, we're not even accepting donations. So everything that I do, make sure that it comes back. I've allocated a specific amount of money that goes into certain things that I run past my trusted advisors and make sure they all think that it's a good idea. And then I take the action, I put the money into it. All of the proceeds go back into the foundation. So right now we're currently just putting money into merchandise and services and events, and it's going to generate a little bit extra money on top of the initial principal that we put in there, and then that's going to go back into it. And so we're building from the bottom. And I thoroughly believe if you are anybody who has any sort of spiritual connection or whatever you want to call it, doesn't have to be a religion, doesn't have to be defined, but if you have faith in the way that the universe works as I do, I know that it's going to work out, right? And so I think that's a huge pillar of becoming an entrepreneur. And like I said, I'm still a fucking white belt. Don't take it from me. Like, this is just me a couple months into like really jumping into the waters. Figure this out for yourself. But I definitely believe in my heart that belief of success is imperative. It's actually like, you gotta know. It's got to be a conviction. For you to be successful, you have to know you will be successful. If you think that you might not be successful, I believe you will not fucking be successful. I shouldn't say that. I believe that if I don't believe I won't be successful, I ain't gonna be fucking successful. You know why? Because I ain't gonna try. But as I read through this book, right, I did the things that it asked me to. I wrote the stuff down. I do a bunch of different practices, but ultimately I have started to come around to practicing these things daily to where I have created the conviction that I will be successful. I don't know at what. I don't know what's gonna fucking do it. I'm not a seer. Like, I can't see into the fucking future. I don't have like some psychic hand reading my fucking palms and telling me that this line means that like I'm gonna get married at this age and I'm gonna make this amount of money and this is gonna be my for sure purpose. Not doing all that. I've created this conviction through practice, right? And what I mean by practice is, I put the negative thoughts out of my head and I tell myself it's gonna fucking work, right? Something's gonna work. And I believe that for me, that is imperative. That's the only thing that's going to be able to do it. This book backs that idea up. It also says follow action with persistence. Make sure you know what you have to offer. Make sure you define it. And make sure you capitalize on your skills and what you like to do and what you're good at. You know, because ultimately, like, if you want to do something but you're not passionate about it, you're not going to be as successful as you would be if you fucking, if you want to do woodworking and that's just something that you're super passionate about, or you want to be a fucking blacksmith. You're going to be successful at it because that's what you want to fucking do. That's just what I believe. Don't take it from me. Put it in your own practice. But listen, that is my little bit for today. I told you I would come and I would just give you my kind of day-to-day feedback. I'm so excited. I got a bunch of things in the works. I'm excited to get on here and tell you guys about the podcast. As you can see, the YouTube channel is new. This is one of those revenues. It's not going to necessarily like give me $1 million, but you know what I mean? You're looking at me right now, so it's working somewhat. So that being said, got a ton of ideas. Like, I appreciate so much everybody who watches these, all the love and support. If you like this, if you have anything to say, if you want to reach out, if you want help in your journey, if there's anything I can put out there for you, please like, comment, share. I reach out to everybody who reaches out to me. So please, if you have any questions or anything, you're not in this alone. Thank you so much, guys. I look forward to posting more videos and talking to more of you. And as always, get out there and get it, okay? Action makes things happen. Peace out.